I'd like to talk about a few things. I agree with everything I'm hearing here, and I'm so pleased that you're covering these issues. They are so critical for us. Um, 3 points, and I'll get into details for each of them. We think of certain elections gold standards in Oregon. We want voters to understand how our elections work, and that helps to cut through the disinformation. And there was a question about how we're getting ready for the elections in 2022. We are already on it, thank you. Okay, first to Oregon's elections gold standards. Oregonians love vote by mail. We started this carefully in 1981. We make it work. The league posts a searchable Dropbox map so you can put in your address and see where your closest ballot drop boxes are. Of course, yes, we can vote in person in elections in Oregon. Motor voter, automatic voter registration, led the way in January 2016. We use voter verifiable hand-marked paper ballots, and our league supports the gold standard of risk limiting audits. And we've gotten as far as making these optional by county in Oregon. And track your ballot so you can check the website and see, did they mail it yet? I should have gotten it by now. I mailed it back. Have they gotten it yet? Have they finished processing it? I talked to our elections people this morning, and they're not sure they're going to be able to do this next session. So, man, we're going to be on this because we want them to. 2, we want voters to be confident that their votes matter. The league wants to help voters understand ballot processing, vote by mail. That was suddenly more important with COVID. So we posted an Oregon best practices for vote by mail page, and I updated it this morning, and I can put the link in. I can share several links afterwards. Let's see. We have a cybersecurity and privacy study. We included election security and emphasized that voters are a really serious election hacking vulnerability. Mr. Newman's roadmap, thank you, is right on target in so many ways. One thing that we're working really hard on in social media, for example, is helping voters understand that we are really vulnerable to mis and disinformation. I love the EAC chair Thomas Hicks' comment a few years ago, and I have the link for that too, with the timestamp on it, for his comment when he and Chris Krebs were interviewed. He said, if you don't vote, your vote then definitely won't count. Another way to be more confident is having good cyber hygiene. And so with the materials, with our study, which I encourage you to look at, it's really fun to read, and it gets down into the weeds too, but that's okay. See our handout for cyber hygiene and all the other materials. We have presentations because we are taking our new advocacy position to the National League because we don't have a national position on cybersecurity and privacy yet. We're working on it. How are we getting ready for 2022? Well, we're off and running already. This is both for getting ready for how we deal with the candidates. I understand there are some campaign people on the call. I see Kim Scott. Hi, Kim. From our league, we're getting ready for candidates and for voters. Voter registration, that motor voter I mentioned, the DMV only updates driver's licenses every 8 years. That's not good enough. So we're talking to the Department of Revenue and working with them because you pay your taxes every year. They're right on the money. They want to get paid. Those trains run on time. So we can't call motor voters really cool. Tax voter doesn't really work. We got to come up with a better nickname. And folks feel like, oh, we got it covered. Oregon's home free. We got voter registration. It's automatic. But that's not true. If you've moved or changed your name, you need to update that. Voter turnout is pretty good in Oregon, but we still push for it. So in the page that I mentioned that we just updated, we have 3 videos you can watch, and I encourage people to watch the videos, how election processing works in Oregon. And there's one from the director of elections at the state level, very helpful, different information from the county where I live, and a third one from Multnomah, which is Absolutely Urban in Portland. All of them are good. You should watch them. Um, Build voter confidence in elections. Your voice is your vote is your voice. It matters. You got to vote. Um, I'm not that concerned with our elections officials getting cybersecurity training because I think they're getting it. I think they're getting it a lot. But the problem is, are they keeping up with it? And what does that mean? How are we defining it? Do we have national standards? I would really like to see national standards come on Congress with the John Lewis Voting Rights Act and the Freedom to Vote. Those, I want to see progress with those. The league supports them. I hope there are some questions. And thank you so much for inviting me.